I've had the idea of this knife in my head for a bit of a while now. And I've wanted to try something a little different with the hamon. This is going to be the handle. This is the handle material. Really cool piece of resin. My friend Victoria over at Resin Remixed, I'll link her Instagram page below. I reached out to her, asked her if she'd be interested in making a handle piece for me, and she was more than happy to do it. So thank you. This thing, been wanting to make this for so long now. I just don't want to screw it up. In this resin block, there's some roses. So my idea is that I'd ideally like to make the hamon on this knife look like a rose. So that's the basic idea. I don't know if it'll work, but I figure what the hell, I'm gonna try it anyways, because even if it doesn't work, I'm probably still gonna get some pretty cool hamon action there. I've seen some people do some pretty crazy stuff with hamons. I've never seen anybody do this. So yeah, let's give it a go. Alright, so it's the next day. I heat treated, tempered the blade last night. I had a look at the hamon this morning, and unfortunately, you can see I didn't get the results I was looking for, and it's come too close to the edge, which is not something you want with a kitchen knife, because it's going to get sharpened, and then over time it'll be pretty much useless because that's not hardened steel. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to put this blade aside. It's not garbage. It's still got a lot of thickness. That might have been the problem, and the spine will hold on to quite a lot more heat than the edge will. So this blade, I'll just have to put it aside for now. I don't have the means to normalize it and redo it because I don't have a controlled temperature kiln. I could try doing it in the forge, but W2 steel is far too finicky and I don't want to mess with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the new blade cut out and started, because I've got a lot of catching up to do. Alright, next day again. So this one's looking a lot better. I'm gonna go ahead, clean it up, and see if we can get a better peek. I've got my knife up to 120 grit off of my rotary platen on my belt sander. Now my next step is to get it ready for hand sanding. So what I like to do is I'll put this piece of leather on the disc and then put my paper over top of that. So what this leather does is it has more give than the physical disc, obviously, but what that does is it blends my grind much quicker and much easier, and I can work up from 120 all the way up until 400 on here super easily, and it leaves a really nice finish. That way when I go to hand sand I can start at 400 and it makes it miles easier. So highly recommend. Okay, so I'm just gonna walk you through what I'm doing here as I'm doing it. I've got everything fit and ready to go. The problem is that my handle piece doesn't fit perfectly, which is, it's fine, it's normal, because I just removed as much material as I could to get the tang to fit. So how do I fix that? What I'm gonna do is bed the tang, and that just means that I will pour epoxy into the handle, fit the handle up, let the epoxy dry, and then pop the knife out. And the way that I pop the knife out is I will cover the tang with Teflon tape and then Vaseline over that so that I can slide it right out and it won't get stuck. Little Vaseline. Uh-oh. Oh man, this is not good. Get the hell off me. Not good, not good. I'm panicking, I'm panicking. Well, that didn't really work. Well, it half worked. As I was putting my spacers on, they started to rip the Teflon tape off the tang of the knife, so I decided to scrap the Teflon tape and just cover it in Vaseline really quickly because it was a 5-minute epoxy, so I don't have much time to screw around. It got stuck. After a lot of hammering, a lot of swearing, it flew off, but my spacers did not glue up, which isn't the worst. So I've got a nice fitting tang in my block now. There's no movement. I know where it's gonna go every single time I put it in. Now all I've got to do is make some new spacers. So, I mean, I'd rather scrap those than this handle. Whatever.